Hey neighbor, so another project. I know I be throwing these new things at you, especially when I'm interested in them, and this is one of those. So I was telling you, I've been going through my vintage food preservation books to kind of get older, new to me techniques for preserving food, and of course, potted meat came up. Now, as a 80s kid, I remember potted meat from the grocery store, Vienna sausages, all those things along those lines. They did not speak to my spirit, okay? But liverwurst does and pate does. I enjoy those. We're going to try our hand at potted meat the traditional way with some new things added in there. So it was suggested that chuck or round, and then to leave uncovered in the refrigerator for a couple of days just for it to dry out and age so you get a deeper beef flavor. I'm doing that. I'm also doing it in grandma's pan because I'm going to cover it with the lid and bake it for 3.5 hours. Well, it's not really baking because I'm adding the broth in there. Anyway, it's really simple what it calls for. Some salt, and because it's beef, I want to make sure I'm good. So I'm going to do this half a teaspoon to start with, because you know that's the key, is making sure that we have good flavor. And then we're going to do a couple of turns of pepper. Now listen, I am definitely a girl of season until your ancestors tell you to stop. However, in this one, because we don't know and we don't want to overpower it with seasonings, we want to be able to taste the beef. We're going to do less is more. It called for a clove, so we're going to put a clove in there. It also called for mace. Do you know what mace is? Okay, if you get nutmeg straight up, mace is the floury lattice on the outside of your nutmeg. Well, I don't have time for that, but I got plenty of nutmeg, so we're going to do a couple gratings of our nutmeg in there. And then we are, okay, salt, pepper, nutmeg, clove. And then we're going to add our beef stock. Now, this is why we're putting stuff on the shelf, just in case. My beef stock also has a layer of tallow on it because that's what I like. I like to have that flavor in there. So, about a half a cup, including some of the tallow. And that's that. That's that. We're going to cover and cook this for about 3.5 hours until it's fallen apart to nothing. In between that time, well, I've already done it, but you could, if you were making clarified butter for storage and you just needed to make clarified butter for this, while this is cooking, you could be processing your clarified butter. I got some. We're going to get this cooking. I'll be back, and then we're going to go from there. Just a little background while we are waiting for our beef to finish cooking. Go ahead and make it a loaf of bread. Go ahead and make it something delicious for your potted meat to go on. For my neighbors that have been with me for a while, this is the bolo loaf recipe that can be used for multiple things. And we're just going to, while everything's cooking and the kitchen is warm, we rolled out our loaves. Let these proof while your beef finished cooking, and then by the time your beef is cooked and you're cooling it, these can be ready and baking so that we can try the potted meat on the bread. Okay. Okay. Hey, I'm back, neighbor. Very different, I know. In between the processing time of cooking, I decided to go work out in the garden for a little bit, and the fact that it's 800 degrees, I was a sweaty, stinky mess, so we had to clean all that back up. Okay. Back to the beef. So, I don't know. We're still gonna follow it, but I don't know. It said 2.5 hours, and mine wasn't even close to being anything soft. It's saying that you should be able to break it up with your spoon or a fork. I was unable to do that, so I cooked for another hour and a half. So in total, about 4 hours of cooking. And in that extended cooking, I then had to add more liquid, but I didn't want to just broth it out since it's cooking down and concentrating anyway. So I did end up adding water in between periodically so that I wasn't without um, you know, any moisture under there. Now, when I break it up with my fork, it doesn't give pate. It doesn't give pate at all. It gives mincemeat. So, pull out the big guns and let's blend it to see if we could get it down to the paste that it's supposed to be. And this is why we do small batches when we're trying something, and we don't necessarily follow the measurements from our cookbook when we're trying, because mistakes can happen, things can happen, and we don't want to waste. So we're taking all of that broth and all, and that beef that we cooked, to get it in the jar so that we can get better surface for running our immersion blender for pate texture. Flavor wise, it's okay. I'm a super spicer, so it just feels like it's missing some spice. Okay, so I think this is what it's supposed to be. Using our stick blender, and I think flavor wise it tastes better because we were able to blend all of that broth and stuff in. And now we're going to add, it calls for about 2 ounces, but we did way less beef, so I'm going to probably do sorry, it is tasty now that it's mixed. I'm going to do a heaping teaspoon of our browned butter ghee, and then we're going to mix that up to I just want to make sure. If you've never had, well, you've had brown butter. The next time you're working on your brown butter, try brown butter ghee. It's delicious. And yes, I first figured it out on accident when I burned my ghee. And, well, I didn't technically burn it. It just got too brown. And now I do it on purpose. Okay, I feel good texture-wise. I mean, I know it looks like puppy chow. Taste-wise, delicious, especially with the added ghee. So, what I'm going to do, I'm using the smaller yogurt jars. They take regular lids too, and I'm going to portion them in those because this is really rich, and I can't just see eating a large amount of this at one time. Okay, so we have them in there, and now we're just going to put an inch and a half of ghee to cap. Now I'm taking mine up. I want to make sure I'm sealed. And then we're going to put that on, and we're going to put them in the refrigerator to set up. Okay, moment of truth. Bread is out. Our potted meat has solidified with the cap. So we're going to get us a piece of bread and put some potted meat on there. It kind of sunk, but I did it deep enough so that there is no holes in there. So let's see. We're going to pull the cap back. Pull the muffin cap back, Blue. And we're just going in there. So it's really pate-like. I want to just eat this. Will y'all judge me? Okay, don't judge me, because okay. Bread. So it's really good. However, no side notes. It's really good. I wish, I wish I would have added more herbs to it. But if you like potted meat, liverwurst, pate, magnificent. No, really good. I learned some things. I'm taking some notes. I'm going to try it again with what I've learned. And we're also going to be monitoring storage. So it says to store in the refrigerator, and it can store in the refrigerator for a couple of months as long as the fat cap is in place. Because I've disrupted this one, I'm going to see how long this lasts in the refrigerator. And so we're going to find some more things to do with this ghee too, because you know I'm not going to just throw it away, and I don't want to just eat it outright. So check mark to traditional potted meat. Now figuring out how to store this to be shelf stable is my next thing. But creating it, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, neighbor, I'm gonna talk to you.